What's happening, YouTube? Metalhead23. Thanks for checking out the video. If you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys want to see. I'm always out bashing around with my buddy Bob, and we love going out and RCing, and all I can say every time is it's a great time. So I like to be able to share with you guys and let you know what we're up to, and let us know what you're up to, and we'll get some more videos up hopefully pretty soon. Right now I'm in the middle of doing a ESC swap. There's a video you guys clicked on. Again, if you like what you see, comment, let us know what you want to watch, and see what we can do for you. I think I finally destroyed my VXL system. I went to go take a drive yesterday, took it out of the driveway, took one lap, and then the car stopped. Well, pulled the body off, and this bad boy had melted through. Solder was off, battery was just chilling open. So I went through, resoldered that, and found a short here. This is normally the blue wire, but with the way I ran the wires, I ran it down through this hole here and up and over this capacitor. And from me driving, the edge of this capacitor grabbed onto the heat shrink, rubbed the blue shrink wrap off of the wire here, and I am pretty sure shorted out my capacitor. I've got this weird clicking noise coming from the motor now when there is no throttle called for. So hold on. So like I said, I put that on there, resoldered this. When the car had stopped, the ESC was on fire, the battery was on fire, the wires were on fire. The motor wires were warm, not hot. The motor was fine. I don't think anything happened with the motor, but this is what I get. Of course, it's not going to do it now. There it is. Can't hear it, but there is a vibration coming from the motor. Hopefully that's transferring over a little bit, but now I've got a constant vibration coming from this, man, lost it, from the motor itself, the magnets inside, and it is coming from this white wire. When I unplug it, this is the capacitor that the wire was sitting on, and it's connected to the white one. When I unplug the white connector, the chirping in the motor stops, the vibration in the motor stops. So I'm thinking I blew my ESC. I've been running this thing hard. I got a Genzace 5500 3S LiPo in there, and I've been running that on it since basically the day I bought it. I normally run my fan, but it's cold right now, so I'm not too worried about that. Normally I have a fan on my motor, not running that right now with it being winter. But I'm going to redo the bearings. I've been running the same bearings, the traxxas bearings that come in the ready to run. Those have been in there for about a year. Actually, like just over a year, and pretty sure fried the ESC. Motor seems alright. Redo the bearings there, and I'm gonna swap the VXL system with a Hobbywing Max10 SCT 120 amp. This can support 4S, so we'll hopefully keep the temperatures down. This thing was always running hot with 3S on it, even with the fan and the fan on the motor. Everything was still getting warm, so I'm hoping that with a 4S system it'll be able to handle a 3S a lot better. The motor's rated for 3S, the ESC was rated for 3S, but I always had an overheating problem. I was not running this when I first bought it. I'm running 75 on a 25 right now. No binding there, so I know the tick's not coming from there. It's only when the motor has power coming through that white wire, or no throttle pulling. So we're gonna swap it out and see what we got going on. So I was pulling the motor off. Like I said, I'm gonna redo the bearings on this thing. Pulled the end cap off. They don't look too bad. They're a bit rusty. We got 4 screws that hold the cap on. I'm gonna pop those bearings out, swap the bearings out, take the cap off, pull the rotor out, push this bearing out, slap a new one in, put the rotor back in, make sure you don't lose any of the bushings or the washers that are inside of here. But the reason I am swapping the ESC out, completely forgot to mention, is because now I have no get up. The car will glitch, and then finally grab, pulling full throttle, it'll glitch out, and then after about 3 seconds of glitching, it'll take off. It's just gone. And so now I've got no takeoff power, and like I said, with that capacitor being shorted out, the ESC is sending power through this line here to the motor constantly without any call for it. So yeah, tons of fun. Alright, so when you pop that cap off, this is what you got. There's a washer or a bushing here, and then you got a washer there. Bearing is in the end cap. Alright, so bushing, washer. Grab on the rotor with a pair of pliers, pull that out. I'm going to try to clean that up a little bit because that's looking a bit rusty. And then you got to push that bearing out in there. Push out from that side. Hopefully this one doesn't fall apart like my kid Slash did. That was, the bearing just disintegrated when I went to go push it out. Ball bearings all stuck to the magnets. It was a complete disaster. So hopefully this one goes better. Alright, so swapped it out. Put some fast eddies in there, 511x4s, rotor, it slid back in. And then a little washer. Oop, 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 bushing. Make sure she's seated. End cap. Don't break it now. And then, like I said, the 4 screws that are underneath the plastic cover, those go back in. Let's see what we got. To swap it with this Max10 SCT. This is what you get in the box. Got this pretty all metal 4mm connector, or 4mm bullet connectors on this beautiful ESC. I mean, this thing is made phenomenal. Heavy. It's all metal. Well, most of it's metal. The bottom plate is plastic, but this is all metal. This is, you know, you can just feel the difference between this. Oh, of course, I just broke it. And this. This is decent, but this thing is like, whoa. So get that. It's got the temp connector, the temperature connector for your Hobbywing motor. I'm gonna keep running the Valenian on it, 3500 kV, on-off switch, and the throttle control. I get to play with this a bit and get this mounted up. We've got a mounting plate in here. An extra set of capacitors just in case your motor is running over 80 degrees Celsius. I have no idea what that is in Fahrenheit, but so this is what you get in the bag. Zip tie, sticky pad, 4mm bullet connectors with leads. Like I said, I'm just going to use the Valenian. I've got some adapters going from 3.5mm to the 4s. I will end up soldering on some 4mm. just to get rid of these adapters. I don't like that. So you got those. They send you with some leads and instruction manual. Oh yeah, and Go Fast stickers. Nice little smorgasbord of them. But 120 amp ESC, waterproof. It does recommend that you take the fan off to run in wet conditions. If I can get this thing open. So it comes, ooh, oh geez, I almost pulled the car up. So it comes with this nice big instruction manual, but these are the parameters that they set up for you. This is stock. This is the factory settings. If you do a factory reset on the ESC itself, it will go back to these settings here. It is programmable. You have to use a programming card or the software for this, but from what I've read, it looks like everything is pretty much where I want it for right now. With it being a new ESC, I'll run it and see what we got going on, but very well thought out, easy to read. Now I get to figure out how to mount her up, and yeah, let's see what we got. So like I said, the ESC comes with this nice little mounting plate. It looks like I'm gonna have to run it sideways like this. This is, oh wait, I lied. Wheel. That's how she's going. I was gonna swap that plate out because of the crack. I hit a basketball pole doing like 45, ripped the whole right side of my car off, hence the RPM arms and the aluminum knuckles and all of the upgrades. That was like a $90 crash. Yeah, that was a good time. Broken shock tower, but this is how I'm gonna mount this bad boy. Get the ESC on there. Again, I was gonna swap that, but we'll leave that on there just so we got somewhere to mount to. So the mounting plate has two of these little screws, and that is what holds this plate to the ESC. And these two tabs here are what hold it to your chassis, and you got some longer screws here for it. Get that mounted. Oh. So like I said, Hobbywing did a great job of putting this thing together. I got it all mounted up. Screw back there. Screw up front, holding that plate down with the ESC attached to it. And I gotta solder on a XT60 connector. That's what I run in all my batteries. Yeah, this thing mounted up really nice. There is a little bit of screw that sticks out of the bottom of the plate. I thought it was going to be way worse than that. I might put a washer underneath the screw just to pull it up so it doesn't puncture the battery. But yeah, she went on real nice, really easy. I'm going to opt to put the power button over here. It does come with a adhesive. I put one underneath the plate that mounts up to the existing traxxas plate, just in case these tabs break. It's still got something holding this ESC down. But I am going to get some connector solder up, figure out how I'm going to run that, and probably won't run until tomorrow, but we'll get her together tonight. Alright, got my leads soldered on, like I said, XT60. That's all on there. Got her all zip tied back. Everything is on and ready to go. I got the motor off right now. I just want to see if it's still doing that cogging thing. Like I said, it had a vibration in it from this white wire here, so I'm hoping it was just the ESC because I didn't buy a motor. Just that bad boy. Again, this thing went on beautifully. everything lined right up, slid right into the receiver, no issues. This is going to be the first startup on here, and I have to set the throttle and the neutral point. So we got some nice instructions here. I'm going to run through that real quick. Let's plug it in and see what we got. Neutral point, full throttle end point, full brake end point. Leave the throttle trigger at the neutral position. Press the set button. Press the set button. The red LED dies out and the green light flashes one time and the motor beeps. If you have the Hobbywing, the motor will beep as well as the ESC, but you can look at the LED. So yeah, the red light dies out and the green light flashes one time and the motor beeps one time to accept the neutral position. Pull the trigger, full throttle position, press the set button, green LED blinks 2 times, and the motor beeps 2 times. Push the throttle to full brake position, press the set button, the green LED blinks 3 times. So let's see if we can do this. Hopefully there's no issues. Everything is connected up and transmitter on, good to go. And we will and then full throttle, set, reverse, set. Uh-oh, what did I do? Alright, so got it on there. I had my 3S in here, got that bad boy in here, and hooked it up, set my neutral and my full throttle and full brake. I'll show you guys how to do that real quick. I'm going to use the 2S because I got her running, but this ESC is actually pushing all the power of that 3S, and it is the motor's toasty, and I ran it full throttle for like 5 seconds and it started getting warm. So I don't know if I did something when I shorted it out, or like I said, I think this thing's just pushing the full power of that battery. Now with it being 120 amp ESC, I know that the Valenian system says that it's 200 amp. But yeah, this thing is like warm within a couple of seconds. Like it's running hard. So got this on right now to set the throttle neutral. You hold the set button right here, and at the same time you push the on button. Am I 2 on? Yeah, I got 2 on. At the same time you push the on button, the red light's gonna flash. As soon as it starts flashing, you let off. So let off, that's the neutral position. As that's flashing, push set. When it blinks once green, you pull full throttle. Hit the set button. The LED flashed green twice, and then you put it in full brake. Full brake. Set. The ESC chimed 3 times. And now it's ready to go. When you pull the trigger, your ESC will light up red, and then as you hit full throttle, it turns green. So that's how you know your parameters are set. You gotta make sure that when you pull it, when your trigger bottoms out, that light turns green, and that's how you know that you got it set right. But yeah, this thing is wicked. It fan started right up. There's no issues with that. Again, I'm going to have to do something with these bullet connectors, because that is sitting up way past my shock tower. If I hit something, those things are toast. So I'm gonna fix those. Yeah, she's running strong. Like I said, I only had the trigger on for a couple of seconds and that motor started to warm up. So definitely gonna need to get a new fan for that because I broke the blades off my old one. I'm probably gonna get a dual fan for it just because this thing is hot, and I've been planning on doing some speed runs with the gearing I got going on. Like I said, I got a 75 in there with 48 pitch, hot racing, and then a 25 tooth. It says somewhere in there, but yeah, 25 tooth, 75. Yeah, she's back up and running. The clicking from the motor is gone. You can feel that there's a vibration. I don't know if it's just from the fan running through the wires, but the motor itself feels like it's got a little bit of a hum to it. So like I said, the clicking is gone. It's not vibrating like it was. So I'm gonna get this thing back together. Like I said, I'm gonna run 2S on it and see how she runs, and then we'll try a 3S and do a couple of speed runs. I got 54 miles an hour out of it before it came up and flipped over and slid about 75 feet on the roof. So get a little GPS for it. I just stuck my phone in there, which was pretty stupid. But yeah, I got 54 out of it, and I was running some taped tires and all that fun stuff. So we'll see what she can do. I'm hoping that this ESC won't burn this motor up right away, but if that be the case, then I am going to get a 4S capable motor. And this thing, where does it say in here? It says that the specs for the SCT, if you want to run 4S, you have to run a kV under 3,000. Right now I'm running 3,500 with the Valenian, and I'm only running 3S on it, and she's getting pretty warm. So if this thing does blow up, like I said, I'm gonna get a new motor for it. But Monica's back up and running. I gotta put some new Go Fast stickers on there, and she should be good. Finally got everything finished on here. Took it out for a rip yesterday on a 2S, and I was keeping up with a Revo 2.0, so this ESC is killing it. Only got a couple of runs out of it after I put the 3S on there. Hit a pothole, broke my link, so I'm a little floppy right now. Gotta fix that. But yeah, this ESC has been killing it. I'll get some run videos up. Finally figured out how to mount my phone up so we can get some decent videos going. But yeah, this Hobbywing is killing it. I mean, just killing it. Earlier in the video, I said that this thing was getting warm without a load on it, but with the amount of power that was running through this, not having a load on it was letting it spin too fast, so that's why it was getting hot. I took it out, ran it on 3S, no issues. The motor barely even got warm after, like, I don't know, 2-3 speed rips. On that Valenian ESC, it was getting hot after a pass. So from what I've seen so far, this thing is definitely what I was looking for. I'm, like I said, gonna get some run videos up, some speed runs, just us out smashing around and hitting curbs. So I'm gonna fix that bad boy there, and yeah, we'll post up some run videos.